Hello and welcome to the United Stand. Manchester United have beaten Swansea City 2-0 in the Carabao Cup with 2 goals from Jesse Lingard. And tonight, I will tell you right now, a new star was born at Manchester United. Many people have been on about this lad for a long time. We have been on this channel. In fact, we've been saying this season, where has he been? Why has he not been playing for Manchester United as much as he had? He played 90 minutes tonight, but why has he not been playing? Every time he plays for United, he looks like the real deal. And tonight he was the standout player comfortably in what was, apart from Lingard's goals, a bit of a dull affair. But we'll talk about the complexities of that in a minute. Axel Tuanzebe, stand up and take a bow, because you were fantastic tonight. 19 years of age, 20 next month. No age at all for a centre-back. And he finally, actually, Mourinho, that's one thing that was in my head as well. Mourinho's been playing him as a midfielder when he has used him towards the end of last season, or as a right-back or as a left-back. Tonight, we actually saw him in his position up against Swansea's best player, Wayne Routledge. And he, in the first half, it was a real 50-50 battle. And I like that. I liked that because sometimes Routledge was getting on top of him and sometimes Tuanzebe was winning the battle. In the second half, he just picked him up and put him in his pocket. He was superb in the second half. He was superb in the first half, but that's football for you. That is, if you're up against a good player, you won't always totally dominate them. It's all about the battle. And Tuanzebe was just brilliant, absolutely brilliant tonight. He will be anything he wants to be at Manchester United if Mourinho just gives him more minutes. McTominay obviously played, and Mourinho seems really, really interested in giving McTominay minutes, which I'll speak about in a minute. But there's a big, big difference between a McTominay and a Tuanzebe. This lad is superb. I mean, I think in 2-3 years, you're looking at him and Bay as the first team partnership for Manchester United. He is brilliant. He's got the strength. He reads the game. He's quick. He's composed on the ball. He's good on the ball. Really, really impressed with him. And at 19/20, he's going to get stronger. He's going to get quicker. And he's going to get more composed. He can be anything he wants to be. Superb performance. And in what wasn't a great performance from United, it was okay. That's what the League Cup's all about tonight. And I'm really, really pleased for Jose Mourinho as well, even if he stumbled upon it, because I've been saying for a long time, you know, Fosu Mensah, Rashford, they're Van Gaal debutants. They're his players. Tuanzebe can be Mourinho. He can be a Mourinho youth player. I hope he uses him a lot more. I'm not going to say he is, because he hasn't really used him this season. But I hope he uses him a lot more, because he can go down as Mourinho's player. He's absolutely brilliant. Head and shoulders. Don't normally do man of the match straight away. Absolutely brilliant. And as Can Clucks has just said in the live comments, Tuanzebe, so composed and confident, very impressive. He did things wrong. He got a yellow card, of course. Yeah, he got a yellow card. He got turned a couple of times. But in general, next to Smalling, who I thought was good, and Lindelof, who, you know, was consistent, that's what I'm going to say, he was brilliant. He was the best player on the pitch, 100%. In relation to Manchester United, I just want to say about Luke Shaw, if you can't get 90 minutes, 45 minutes, half an hour against Swansea B team in the League Cup, you're finished at Manchester United. I think Luke Shaw is not going to make it at Manchester United, which makes me very, very sad, because we desperately need a left-back. I thought Daley Blind was okay tonight. I think Ashley Young's been good going forward, but suspect at the back. And I think Darmian's not a left-back. So that position, for me, Luke Shaw gets back anywhere near his potential. It's easy. It's Luke Shaw. Young, English left-back, can go forward, can defend. It should be his position. But if he's not getting half an hour, or he should have even started. He's been fit for 5-6 weeks now, and he's not even getting a game against Swansea B team. We're not going to get an easier game than that this season. The next round of the League Cup will be harder. We've only got Champions League in the league, maybe FA Cup in January. But, you know, Luke Shaw's not going to start against Spurs or in a Premier League game. He would need a game like tonight to start building his way in. And if Mourinho is ignoring him for a game tonight, he hasn't got a future at United. I don't know what's gone wrong with Luke Shaw, but for me, I think Luke Shaw, when he does leave Manchester United, he'll go somewhere and we'll regret it. I don't know whether it's just a grudge because Mourinho wanted him at Chelsea and he snubbed him for United, or there's a problem with Luke Shaw's fitness, or something's going wrong, because we haven't. It's not like we're blessed with good left backs. Like I say, Ashley Young's probably the best of a bad group at the moment, because Ashley Young going forward's good, but defensively he worries me. So I think yeah, even I am starting to think that maybe that's it for Luke Shaw now, which is sad. In relation to the Manchester United performance, 2 really good goals from Jesse Lingard. One pretty much made by Rashford. Rashford flicked him through, had to run with the ball a while, but he got into a one-on-one situation and put it away lovely. The second goal, cross from Darmian, that's a collector's item. Lingard header from quite far out in the penalty box. And a double collector's item. Really good goal. Took the performance away from Swansea. 2-0. Back of the net. Off we go to Manchester. Let's get ready for Spurs. But in relation to the performance, 2-0 probably slightly flattered us. Swansea weren't that far off us. In relation to the United performance, what would I say? Look, I said before the game, and I'll say it after the game. If we'd won 7-0 tonight, I don't really think it has any impact with the tough game we've got against Spurs. And to me, that's the focus. If somebody offered me we beat Spurs on Saturday but we lost 4-0 to Swansea tonight, I'd have took the 3 points on Saturday. It's pivotal to our season. The league's more important. We've won the League Cup before. I'm not mad bothered about winning the League Cup. If we're winning everything else and we're doing really well in the league and the League Cup comes with us, fine. But I'm not interested in focusing on the League Cup. For me, the League Cup is about Axel Tuanzebe's performance tonight and a little bit from McTominay. That's what the League Cup's about. Blooding the next set of youth players for United. And in that sense, it was a success. But a lot of the players playing tonight won't play against Spurs. That's the big game. So even the confidence from the win is irrelevant because a lot of these players won't play anyway. So it doesn't impact on what's the biggest game of the week for me. However, there were similarities with the Benfica game last week, with the Huddersfield game and the Liverpool game, and this hangover from the international break. Before the international break, we couldn't stop scoring, we couldn't stop creating chances. After it, you know, we're a bit like we couldn't score in, you know, we couldn't pull in a brothel. It's really confusing until you actually look at some of the comments we discussed last night, at some of the players who played against us at the weekend. No more notable than Tom Ince, who said, look, when we play people like City and Liverpool and Arsenal, we're scared because they move the ball so quickly, you can't get back into position. When you play against Manchester United, they've got great talent, but they don't move the ball quick, so you can always get into position, and if you catch them on the break, they're weak. We're not moving the ball quick enough from the midfield to the attack, or from the defence to the attack. You've got Martial and Rashford up front tonight. I would be scared as a centre-back of playing against those two. But if you don't give them the right sort of ball, you don't need to be scared. And all Rashford and Martial got tonight was ball with their back to the goal with about 3 or 4 Swansea players around them. They can't do much with that. Why is it happening? Well, when I look at the team, Herrera's still not quite right. I don't know why. His passing's off. McTominay is a bit like Fellaini. He's not going to be able to play the ball forward very quickly. And Lingard, it sounds odd because he scored 2 really good goals, but actually as a number 10 his performance was pretty poor, because what Lingard tries to do is, if you watch Lingard, 90% of the time it's a sideways pass or a backwards pass. As your number 10, that's no good. The number 10's got to be getting the ball and moving it forward quickly. There was a couple of occasions in the first half where Lingard was sort of running at their back 4. Martial's made a run one way, Rashford's made it the other. A decent pass and he's got either one in. He doesn't. He runs into a brick wall, turns around, passes it back, and we're back on our halfway line with the whole Swansea team in front of us within about 5 seconds. So Lingard played well tonight. Of course he did. He scored 2 really good goals, but I'd rather see Lingard out on the right against Spurs and Mata coming into the number 10. I don't like Lingard as a number 10. We're not linking the forward players quick enough. We're too easy to defend against. And I think that's been United's problem since the international break. It's we're not moving the ball quick enough forward, and teams are getting set too quick. And once a team's got its back 4 set and it's got its midfield behind the ball, it's very hard to score a goal. And I think that's where we're going wrong at the moment. I don't know whether that's a lack of confidence, a lack of form, but the ball's not going up quick enough for our... We have got talent. We've got Martial, Rashford, Lukaku. We're just not getting the ball to them quick enough. I mean, you look at Lukaku for Everton last year, a lot of his goals, quick back to the front, he's running at the back 4, he's scoring a goal. He can't do that when he's getting it with his back to goal, and that's where United are going a little bit wrong at the moment. But it's all about Spurs at the weekend now, isn't it? And I think in relation to the Spurs game at the weekend, I do think we'll win it. I think the crowd are going to be up for it. I think Mourinho will just come up with something that is just a one-shot, one-game tactic that just destroys Spurs like he did against Chelsea in April. I don't think the way we play on Saturday will be the way we play the next game. I think it will be a total plan for that. And I think he might do that for the next 2 games. Just look at a certain strategy to win those next 2 games. And I do think we will beat Spurs. But it wasn't great from United tonight. But it wasn't United tonight. There's a lot of players who won't play at the weekend. So it was always going to be a bit of a you're never going to be able to take anything from it for the Spurs game, but what you can take from it, and what I do take from it, is just a brilliant performance from Axel Tuanzebe, and an exciting one as well. I mean, we've got Rashford. I think Rashford will be a star for United for the next decade. We've got Fosu Mensah, I think, can be a great player for United as well. And I'd put Tuanzebe in that category. I mean, I used to put Pereira in that category, but I don't really know what's going on with him at Valencia at the moment, and some of the comments are worrying. But Tuanzebe, I just think he needs more minutes. I've been saying it for many weeks. Did he play the last 4 games of last season? I mean, he was playing him away to Spurs and away to Arsenal as a midfielder. So he trusts him in those sort of games. And then US Tour, he hardly played 5 minutes. This season, he's hardly played at all. He plays him tonight, and he shows exactly what many people feel about Tuanzebe, that he is a fantastic player. And what a performance. Really, really, really impressed by him. And that's the big positive for me tonight. The result, whatever. Like I say, I'd have lost tonight to beat Spurs at the weekend. But man of the match, hands, question marks. It's Tuanzebe. It's got to be Tuanzebe every day of the week. If Spurs beat us with 3 points behind them and potentially go 8 points behind City, says playlist account. Look, we know the situation on Saturday. We've got to turn up, and our big players have got to turn up. Pogba's back in December, says Peter Doyle. Not going to help us on Saturday. Bay's important. Phil Jones was on the bench tonight. Smalling played well. I mean, just going through the players, Romero had nothing to do but made a superb one-on-one save with virtually the last kick of the game. Darmian got a really good assist. I mean, Darmian's just a squad player, isn't he? Lindelof was very poor again first half. Second half, more confidence. Look, we've got, in relation to Lindelof, as I said on the watch along, he's consistent at the moment. He's not playing that well, but we need to stick with him. I saw Vidic, I saw Evra, I saw De Gea. They had bad starts for United and they became great players. Lindelof can do it. Let's stick with him. Tonight was the perfect game for him to play. He's not going to play against Spurs at the weekend. So let's stick with him and stand by him. And let's hope that he does get better and better. Smalling, I think, is our third centre-back. Brilliant. Played really well tonight. Captained the team. I like Smalling. Obviously not his first choice at the moment, but back up when people are injured, great. Daley Blind, again, back up, great. Herrera, not a bad performance, not a great one. Still, don't really understand what's going wrong with Herrera. He's just not hitting the heights of last season at all. McTominay, I never mentioned McTominay. I've been quite consistent about McTominay. I think McTominay will be a championship player. I think that's his future. But he was average for about an hour, and then the last half an hour, as young lads do, I think he really started to enjoy himself and got confident. And he had a good end to the game. But I don't see anything in him that makes me think he is going to be a United player of the future. I mean, he's, you know, Tuanzebe, that's the sort of performance that makes you think that. I mean, he's a year older, McTominay's 21 in December. But Mourinho obviously sees something in him, and, you know, let's see what happens. But he did okay tonight. He did okay tonight. He's still got a lot of improvement to convince a lot of United fans that he can have a future at United. But at the moment, 21 years of age or 20 years of age, we needed him tonight. Who else is going to play? Jose Castro's made a contribution. I hope Mourinho goes back to being the happy one. Seems a little too stressed at the moment. It starts to reflect on the players. Yep, good point. Lingard, you've got to say he played well because he got the 2 goals, but I don't like him in the number 10 position because he doesn't look forward. I'd put him out on the right. Rashford and Martial, graveyard shift really. Not a lot of decent ball. Neither of them played badly. Neither of them played fantastically, but they didn't really have a lot of the ball. So, but all in all, a good performance for United. And the Axel Tuanzebe thing is the huge, huge positive for me. Really, really, really good. I'm just checking something because somebody just said something to me that I need to check before I comment on it. Man City and Wolves are in extra time. Wolves are a good team in the Championship, by the way. Arsenal are going to beat Norwich 2-1. And Bournemouth beat Middlesbrough 3-1. Bristol beat Crystal Palace. Leicester beat Leeds. We beat Swansea. So I don't know when the draw is. I presume it's tomorrow night. But I don't really care who we get. I mean, if we win the League Cup, we win the League Cup. But I don't really care who we get. AJ Thompson thinks McTominay's got good potential. Everyone's got to make their own mind up, haven't they? Prince Boss, don't like Lingard as a number 10. Empty had is half empty, says Chad Sproul. Surprise, surprise. Lingard's better than Mkhitaryan. I mean, you know what? I can't disagree with that from Matassa. I think the number 10 position is our problem at the moment. This is why we're not creating many chances. This is why we're on this hangover from the international break. It's 4 games now where we're not creating chances for our strikers. We're not creating chances for our strikers. Lingard scored 2 goals today, but where are the chances for our forwards? Again, I can't think of a chance that Rashford or Martial had in the whole game. And that's the problem going into the Spurs game, is you can play whoever you want up front. It's a redundant argument. It's who we play at number 10. He's probably going to play Lingard there, but I would worry that Lingard's not linking the attack. I'd play Mata there. I would play Mata there. Mkhitaryan's bang out of form. I think Mkhitaryan should have played tonight because he's so out of form. Play him against the Swansea B team, he might have got some confidence. So it's interesting. I think that is the most important position for United at the weekend because it's the one we've been lacking for the last few games. And we're not supplying our strikers. You can't be critical of Lukaku or Rashford or Martial. They're not getting the service. Thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget to drop a like on the video, especially if you think Tuanzebe was man of the match. Like the video, that's what we're going with. Axel Tuanzebe, man of the match. If you agree, drop a like. Tomorrow, got a cracking video going up for you at 1 o'clock UK time. It's not going to be live, so make sure you've subscribed and you've got your notifications on with the bell because it's a first on the channel. I think you'll really, really enjoy it. 1 o'clock tomorrow. I'll be back at 8 o'clock tomorrow night live. I think we've got Rodney on tomorrow as well, so we'll be talking all the latest United news, moving towards this Spurs game, which is pivotal to our season. And tonight doesn't really make any impact on that, but Tuanzebe does. Brilliant, absolutely superb. He needs more minutes. I'd put him on the bench on Saturday. I think he deserves it. I think he's brilliant, brilliant player. Man of the match to me. Don't forget to drop a like if you agree, and we'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe. Really good video going up at 1 o'clock. But Tuanzebe, a star is born. Thanks for watching. I was going to call it Lingard kills Swans, but then I thought we'd have complaints from the RSPCA, so I changed it to Sink Swans.